What if the one number that drives your paycheck, your mortgage rates, and your company's next big hire suddenly disappeared? That's exactly what could happen if the monthly jobs report, the scoreboard of the U.S. economy, gets scrapped. The head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics was fired.
Mr. President, why did you fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics?
Because I think her numbers were wrong.
And her replacement is talking about suspending the reports altogether. So the big question is, can America's job market even run without a scoreboard?
No! God, please!
I'm Thrive. I'm a Fortune 500 HR manager who has hired, trained, and led thousands of people over my career. And today, we're breaking down what this shakeup really means for employers, HR leaders, job seekers, and anyone who, cares where their paycheck comes from. Let's get into this. Every month, like clockwork, the Bureau of Labor Statistics drops the job report. Employers, economists, Wall Street, even everyday job seekers, everyone looks at that report to gauge where the economy is headed. But now, that process is suddenly in question. President Trump recently fired the BLS Commissioner Erica McIntarfer after a weaker than expected July report, and nominated E.J. Antoni, who has suggested suspending monthly reports altogether. So that raises a huge question. What happens to businesses, HR departments like mine, and job seekers if the jobs report goes away or loses credibility altogether? So today we're going to break this down without politics, just focusing on what it could mean for you, your company, and the broader economy. So first, let's step back. Why do we care about this report in the first place? Well, every month the BLS surveys employers and households to measure how many jobs were added or lost, which industries are hiring or cutting, what the unemployment rate is doing, and how wages are moving. This data drives decisions at every level of the economy. The Federal Reserve uses it to set interest rates. Businesses use it to plan hiring and budgets. HR departments use it to gauge whether they'll struggle to fill roles or need to rethink retention strategies altogether. And job seekers use it as a temperature check on how tough the market is. In short, the jobs report is like the economy's dashboard. If you remove that dashboard, or call its accuracy into question, people start flying blind. In July, the U.S. economy added 73,000 jobs, well below expectations of around 105,000. And on top of that, previous months were revised downward. That's not unusual. Revisions happen because more complete data comes in later. But this time, the weaker numbers triggered a much bigger reaction. President Trump accused the BLS of releasing rigged numbers and removed McIntarfer. He then nominated Antoni, who has publicly criticized the way the BLS measures employment. Antoni has suggested scaling back or even suspending monthly reports in favor of quarterly releases. This is the first time in decades that the independence of the BLS is being debated this openly, and that debate has real consequences. So, what does this even mean if you're an employer, if you're an HR leader like me, or if you're a business owner? Well, look, without reliable monthly data, forecasting becomes really hard. So right now, HR teams use BLS reports to benchmark wages by industry, anticipate turnover when certain industries are heating up, and adjust hiring strategies if the labor market tightens or loosens. If the report is delayed to once a quarter, or if people lose trust in those numbers, HR leaders like me, we have to rely more on private data sources like ADP's payroll reports or Indeed's job posting analysis. That creates a challenge. Those reports aren't always aligned with BLS data, and they can skew towards certain sectors only. For employers, less visibility could mean more cautious hiring. Companies might freeze roles until they feel more confident about the broader direction of the economy. That kind of uncertainty usually slows down expansion and innovation. And in a time when the tariff situation is going on, there's a lot of hesitancy already in business. This just adds to it. And what about employees and job seekers like you? Well, job seekers often look at the monthly numbers to know if it's a good time to switch roles. For example, if hospitality is adding 40,000 jobs a month, that's a sign that the sector is growing. If manufacturing is cutting jobs, maybe you think twice before pivoting into that field. If that data disappears or is seen as biased, job seekers may feel less confident making career moves. You might hold on to your current role a little longer. You might avoid asking for a raise because you're not sure if the economy is strong enough to support it. And to be honest, either does your employer. Employees inside organizations could also feel the impact indirectly. Companies without clear labor data often lean conservative, meaning tighter budgets, fewer raises, and slower promotions. That lack of transparency trickles down to workers. Now, let's zoom out to the bigger picture. The U.S. economy is built on trust in its institutions. Investors, businesses, and international markets rely on timely, accurate data. If the monthly reports stop or if they're viewed as politicized, confidence drops. And when confidence drops, costs go up. Investors demand higher return to offset uncertainty. Businesses delay investments because they can't predict demand. Consumers spend less because they're unsure about their job security. This can become a self-fulfilling cycle. Even if the underlying economy is healthy, the lack of reliable data makes people behave as if it were shaky. That alone can slow growth. So what's next? If Antony is confirmed and pushes for quarterly reports, expect a bigger role for private data sources like ADP, LinkedIn, and ZipRecruiter. These companies will become go-to voices in the state of the labor market. But remember, private data is shaped by private incentives. The other possibility is that the Bureau of Labor Statistics continues monthly reports, but they're increasingly questioned in political debates. That could erode trust in the numbers completely, even if the methodology hasn't changed. Either way, the labor market scoreboard may never feel as neutral or as dependable as it once did. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If the monthly jobs report goes away or loses credibility altogether, what do you think business leaders, HR leaders, and job seekers should rely on instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to see what you think. Is this the start of a new way of tracking jobs or just a political drama that blows over? If this video helped you see the bigger picture, give it a thumbs up so more people can find it. And if you want to keep getting smart, no-nonsense breakdowns about the job market and career trends, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and I swear the numbers are real. This is Decide to Thrive, and remember, in a world where the numbers may change, the real choice is how you respond. Like if you like, sub if you sub, share if you share. I'm Thrive. Bye.